ignore a phenomenon that I've been trying to ignore since getting to Japan this time round. I spent my life in Kyushu. Those who follow me, it's probably not a secret where it was, but I was taken to that place and have very strong connections to that place. Actually, blood ties now. So basically, I've been developing this theory. Okay, I'm in a different part of Japan now, and I was here for other reasons. I mean, I didn't choose to come here. I'm here for my work. And I noticed a very different attitude towards me here compared to where I previously lived. Now, the obvious things are, where I previously lived, I spent a long time there. And people grew to know who I was. So that's one reason. The second reason is that part of Japan, I thought maybe it's that there's no military bases there. This was my initial theory, is that do people feel in this area a kind of resentment or something like that? It was just me trying to work things out, but I don't think that's it, because I don't think that's it. The more I live here, the more and you might ask, why don't you just, if you're not happy in this place, why don't you just move to the other place? Well, I can't right now for various reasons. Therefore, all I can do is sit on my laurels and theorize. I think that, okay, a non-native is never going to be able to speak Japanese to the level of a Japanese person. Now, I imagine because geography of Japan is exactly the same almost as the UK, that regional dialects and so on are quite important. Like in the UK, you can tell, like in where I'm from, you can tell if someone's from a different town. You can tell. The slight twang will be slightly different. And not only that, but where I'm from, people know everybody's face, right? Okay, one thing I've noticed is that the people in the previous region I used to live, they look different, okay? Their names are different. Where I live now, I'm in Kanto, people will have names related to the towns in this area or the towns of Tokyo. Like, I've met so many people with their last name is related to a ward in Tokyo where I previously lived, and I didn't meet one person. So it's very, very regionally based. I mean, it is in the UK as well. We have Welsh people, you know, they have recognisably Welsh names and their own language. You get people with those surnames outside of Wales, and you get people with English surnames in Wales. But Wales is a tiny geographical space, but people are easily recognisable as being from there. Well, I'm noticing the same thing, right? I'm also noticing facial features are like more recognisable of that area. There's a thing called microchimerism. It's if you have a child that you actually, as a mother, you adopt the DNA of that child. People, you see, this is why I believe in God or a higher power, because on the face of it, it looks like there are no positives to a woman having a child in terms of biology, because obviously it wrecks your body. I mean, you know, you put on weight, your body's never the same. So in terms of advantages for the woman in health, you would think that there isn't any. But we're starting to see now that actually due to various things, that actually sometimes until her 70s or for the rest of her life, she receives positive DNA changes. But also included in that, she actually receives DNA not from the father, but she receives the DNA from her baby, which also obviously includes the father's DNA. Yeah. So I'm thinking now, like, I might have some actual biological ties to a particular area, and I have none. I have no spiritual, no biological, nothing connection to this area. And I think people can feel that. And I don't want to big up my Japanese because I don't have any qualifications, but I'm thinking now, when people see me and if they expect when I speak Japanese, they expect me to speak Japanese. People expect me to speak standard Tokyo dialect. I don't. And when I go to the previous area, I can understand the people very well and they can understand me very well. I don't know if I speak their accent. I just know that I can understand them and they can understand me. When I speak the same here, people seem to honestly, they're not being funny, like they honestly can't catch what exactly I'm saying. So I might, in some level, I might speak the dialect of that area. Now I don't speak it very strongly, but just I learned my Japanese from those people. So that's another factor. And I can just liken it to, the best thing I can think of is if a Japanese person spent their formative adult years in Cardiff, in South Wales, and they had a Japanese stroke Cardiff lilt, which is quite identifiable, but also Japanese accent, and then they go and live in Newcastle or Liverpool. Well, people from Liverpool or Newcastle will automatically not identify this person as being from there, local, nothing to do with the place, not having a shared history, not having, places have history, especially somewhere like Japan where you get earthquakes, where like in the UK you get big sporting events. Like people have shared cultural history in that spot. If someone has your accent, you know that there's been some level of shared history. I have that in the previous place. Yeah, ultimately, I feel like I am part of the tribe in the other place and I'm not part of the tribe here. And this has been a good realization for me because I've been putting it all down to xenophobia, racist Japanese, and it's been angering me. And I think I really need to accept that I'm quite deep in the culture, I believe, at this point, and therefore I can't be accepted in every area, and somebody wouldn't be in the UK either. In the past, in my country, in Wales, it took 9 generations. In North Wales, you had to be 9 generations before you could be accepted as a Welsh person. In North Wales, in South Wales, it was 4 generations. But in my country, my region, 9 generations before the locals would accept you as one of them, and I do bear that in mind. But what I wanted to address here was the difference in how I'm treated in this area and how I'm treated in the other area. And I do think I can no longer say it's because of racism, xenophobia, all these other things. I don't think it is. I think it's something else, and I think that's a positive thing. I think I'm going to work with that.